hurry. You pull up to the pump, and you see them. The buttons. Regular, $3. 49 $3. 79 premium, $4. 09 Your car doesn't need premium. The manual says regular is fine. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you hear a little voice. Premium is better, right? It's cleaner, it's stronger, it's probably worth the extra 60 cents. You hit premium, because why not? It's only a few bucks. Later that day, you're at the airport. You're running late. You see the sign. Priority boarding minus $39. You don't need it. You have a seat. The plane will wait. But you're stressed, you're tired, and the idea of getting on first, of avoiding the line, of feeling just a little bit special, it's tempting. You buy it. A few days later, you're ordering something online. Free shipping in 5 to 7 days. Or $7.99 for next day. You click next day, because waiting is hard. A week later, you're at a concert. There's a VIP section. It costs more. You don't know what's in it. But it's VIP. You're not VIP. But for $50, you could be. You buy it. Now, here's the thing. Each of these purchases is tiny. $3 here, $39 there, $8 here, $50 there. Individually, they're nothing. They're rounding errors. They're the financial equivalent of a single French fry. But what if I told you that these tiny convenience purchases, added up over a lifetime, are stealing over $50,000 from your retirement? What if I told you that the bankruptcy of convenience is one of the biggest leaks in your financial boat? And what if I told you that most of these purchases don't even make you happier? They just make you poorer, one small click at a time. Hi, what's up? And I spend way too much time thinking about the death by 1,000 cuts. How tiny expenses add up to massive wealth destruction. If you're someone who's ever wondered where your money goes, only to realize it's a bunch of small things you don't even remember buying, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Most people think investing is about having a lot of money. The truth? It's about what you keep. And the easiest way to keep more is to stop bleeding it on premium nonsense. I'm building a community at the Frugal Investor newsletter where we strip away the hype and focus on high-impact, low-cost wealth building. Get your copy, The 15-Day Blueprint for Wealth and Financial Autonomy, and join a group of like-minded investors who prioritize long-term gains over short-term trends. Link is in the description. Let's start by defining what we're talking about. The premium trap is the tendency to pay extra for things that are marginally better, often in ways we don't even notice. It's not just gas. It's premium parking at the airport or event. Closer to the door, saves 3 minutes of walking. Express shipping on items you don't actually need tomorrow. Priority boarding on flights where everyone gets on eventually. Extended warranties on products that almost never break. Bottled water when tap is fine. Name brand drugs when generic is identical. First class upgrades when economy gets you there at the same time. Premium gasoline when your engine doesn't need it. Expedited fees for passports, licenses, or applications. Convenience store markups for items you could have bought cheaper elsewhere. Each of these is a tiny upcharge. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. They feel insignificant. They feel justified. I deserve it. I'm in a hurry. It's only $5. But here's what most people don't realize. These tiny upcharges are not isolated. They're a lifestyle. And that lifestyle has a price tag. Let's do the math. Because the numbers are embarrassing. Let's say you're an average American. You drive about 13,500 miles per year. Your car gets 25 miles per gallon. That's 540 gallons of gas per year. If you buy premium when regular would do, you're paying an extra $0. 60 per gallon on average. That's $324 per year. For nothing. Your car doesn't perform better. Your engine doesn't last longer. You're just burning money. Now, let's look at shipping. The average American spends about $1,000 per year on online shopping. If you pay for expedited shipping on just 20% of those orders, at an average of $8 per upgrade, that's $160 per year. Priority boarding? Maybe you fly twice a year. You pay $39 each time for early boarding. That's $78 per year. Extended warranties? The average American spends about $150 per year on warranties and protection plans they never use. Premium parking? Concerts, airports, events. Maybe $50 extra, 4 times a year. $200. Bottled water? If you buy 1 bottle a day at $1.50 instead of drinking tap, That's $547 per year. Now, let's add these up. Premium gas, $324 expedited shipping, $160 priority boarding, $78 extended warranties, $150 premium parking, $200 bottled water, $547, that's $1,459 per year. On tiny conveniences you barely notice. Now, let's invest that money instead. The compound interest of convenience. Let's say you're 30 years old. You invest that $1,459 per year in an S&P 500 index fund. Historical average return, about 10%. Let's use 8% to be conservative. You do this from age 30 to age 65. 35 years. At 8% return, $1,459 per year becomes over $250,000. $250,000. From skipping premium gas and bottled water. Now, let's be realistic. You won't eliminate all of these. You're human. But what if you cut them in half? What if you saved $730 per year? That's still over $125,000 in 35 years. The bankruptcy of convenience isn't about the $3 you spend today. It's about the $125,000 you won't have later. The psychology of premium. Now, let's talk about the brain. Why do we fall for this? Why do smart people pay extra for things that don't matter? There's a concept in psychology called the convenience heuristic. We equate convenience with value. If something is easier, faster, or more comfortable, we assume it's better. And we're willing to pay for it. But here's the thing, convenience is often an illusion. Priority boarding gets you on the plane 5 minutes earlier. Then you wait at your seat for 20 minutes while everyone else boards. You didn't save time, you just paid to sit longer. Premium gas? Studies by Consumer Reports and AAA have shown that using premium fuel in an engine designed for regular provides no measurable benefit. None. Zero. You're paying for nothing. Extended warranties? According to Consumer Reports, the cost of extended warranties almost never outweighs the benefit. The products don't break often enough to justify the price. But we buy them anyway. Why? Because of loss aversion. We're more afraid of losing something than we are of gaining something. The thought of our phone breaking and not being covered is more powerful than the rational calculation that it probably won't break. And marketers know this. They exploit it. They create fear. They create urgency. They create the illusion that paying more now will save you pain later. It won't. It just makes them richer. The story of two commuters. Let me tell you a story about two commuters. We'll call them Sarah and Mike. Sarah pays for convenience. She buys premium gas because it feels better. She pays for express lanes on the highway. She pays for parking close to the door. She pays for expedited shipping. She buys bottled water. She thinks of these as small quality of life improvements. Mike does the opposite. He buys the cheapest gas that meets his car's requirements. He parks farther away and walks. He waits for free shipping. He drinks tap water in a reusable bottle. He thinks of these as small acts of financial discipline. Now, let's fast forward 30 years. Sarah has spent about $45,000 on convenience premiums over her lifetime. She has nothing to show for it but a vague memory of slightly easier parking. Mike has invested that $45,000. At 8% growth, it's over $200,000. He retires a year earlier. He takes nicer vacations. He has more freedom. Same income, same life. Different choices about small things. The statistics of leaks. Let's look at some broader data. According to a study by OnePoll, the average American spends about $1,200 per year on impulse convenience purchases, things they buy because they're in a hurry or don't want to wait. Another study by Bankrate found that 43% of Americans have paid for expedited shipping in the last year. The average cost per order was $11. A survey by the International Bottled Water Association found that the average American drinks about 30 gallons of bottled water per year. At an average cost of $1.50 per gallon, for cheap bottled water, that's $45 per year. But many people spend much more on premium brands. And here's the kicker. According to the EPA, tap water costs less than a penny per gallon. The markup on bottled water is over 2,000%. You're not paying for water. You're paying for plastic and marketing. The surprising insight. Convenience doesn't make you happier. This is where it gets really interesting. Studies on happiness and spending show that convenience purchases don't actually make us happier. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that people quickly adapt to convenience. The pleasure of priority boarding fades within minutes. The satisfaction of premium gas is gone by the next fill-up. The joy of express shipping vanishes as soon as you open the box. But the cost? That lingers. In your bank account, in your retirement, in your stress levels. The things that actually make us happier, experiences, relationships, time with loved ones, aren't bought with convenience premiums. They're bought with freedom, and freedom comes from having money, not spending it. The actionable steps. How to stop paying the convenience tax. Okay, so you're convinced. You want to stop bleeding money on premium nonsense. How do you actually do it? Step 1. The 10-second rule. Before you pay for any convenience upgrade, pause for 10 seconds. Ask yourself, do I actually need this? Or am I just being lazy, impatient, impulsive? 10 seconds is enough for your rational brain to catch up with your emotional brain. Step 2. Calculate the annual cost. When you're tempted to buy a convenience upgrade, calculate the annual cost. That $3 premium gas upgrade isn't $3. It's $324 a year. That $8 shipping upgrade isn't $8. It's $160 a year. That $1.50 bottled water isn't $1.50. It's $547 a year. Putting it in annual terms makes the cost real. Step 3. Create friction. Make it harder to pay for convenience. Remove saved payment info from shopping sites. Delete delivery apps. Keep a reusable water bottle in your car and at your desk. Park farther away on purpose. The more friction you create, the less you'll spend. Step 4. The 48-hour rule for convenience. For any non-essential convenience purchase that isn't urgent, wait 48 hours. Do you still want it? Do you still need it? Most of the time, the answer will be no. Step 5. Track your leaks. For 1 month, track every convenience premium you pay. Gas upgrades, shipping, parking, bottled water, priority anything. At the end of the month, add it up. You will be shocked. And that shock will motivate change. Step 6. Redirect the savings. Every time you avoid a convenience purchase, immediately transfer the money you saved to a savings or investment account. Make it visible. Watch it grow. That turns deprivation into motivation. Addressing the objections now, you might be thinking, this is penny pinching. I don't want to live like a miser. Life is short. I want to enjoy things. I get it. Really, I do. Life is short, and you should enjoy it. But here's the thing. These convenience purchases aren't enjoyment. They're not experiences. They're not memories. They're just slightly less annoying versions of normal things. Would you rather have priority boarding or an extra week of retirement? Would you rather have premium gas or a nicer vacation next year? Would you rather have bottled water or $50,000 in 30 years? When you frame it that way, the choice becomes clear. The reframe. From convenience to freedom, the final shift is identity. You have to stop thinking of yourself as someone who deserves convenience and start thinking of yourself as someone who deserves freedom. Convenience is fleeting. Freedom lasts. Convenience is a tiny boost now. Freedom is a lifetime of options. Every time you skip a convenience purchase, you're not depriving yourself. You're buying freedom. You're buying a day of not working. You're buying the ability to say no to a job you hate. You're buying peace of mind. That's worth more than priority boarding. The compound interest of small choices lets bring this home. The bankruptcy of convenience isn't about any single purchase. It's about the pattern. It's about the death by 1,000 cuts. Each tiny leak is harmless on its own. But together, they drain your wealth. Together, they steal your future. The good news is that the fix is simple. You don't need a budget. You don't need a financial plan. You just need to pause, think, and choose differently. Choose the regular gas. Choose the free shipping. Choose the tap water. Choose the walk from the far parking spot. And invest the difference. Over time, those small choices compound into massive wealth. Over time, they turn you from someone who's just getting by into someone who's building real freedom. Look, I'm not saying you should never pay for convenience. There are times when it's worth it. When you're exhausted, when you're sick, when you're genuinely in a hurry. Fine, pay the premium. Live your life. But for most of us, most of the time, convenience is just laziness with a price tag. And that price tag is much higher than it looks. The next time you're at the pump, or at the checkout, or on a website, and you're about to pay for premium, pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my retirement? Because that's what you're really spending. I really hope this video brought you some value today. If it did, comment more down below. I'm reading through those to decide what topics to cover next, so definitely let me know if you want more of this. Stop paying for premium, start buying freedom, and I'll see you in the next one.